Some advice that I would give people who are in the growing phase is try to focus on the point where you feel like you're stable enough that you don't have to take on every project and every lead and work with everybody that asks you to work with them. You can be a little bit more picky, and you can pick the projects that hit close to home, that you actually care about. And I think in the end, those projects and the outcome of those projects is much more valuable to you and the people that you work with.
The biggest challenge I'm having in the growth phase is funding. And I think it's, partly realizing that it's necessary, and that mental challenge of realizing that, and partly the process of funding and figuring out how much we're going to need, what it's going to be used for exactly, where we can find that funding, and then going through the process of pitching or applying for loans or whatever the case may be. We're trying to stay ahead of that growth and think ahead. And also we're very much constrained by our, the resources we have. So I think getting over that hurdle is the challenge we're facing now.
I would have definitely hired more team members to do the actual services. And then I would have sooner hired an admin assistant, someone to do some of the back end stuff, like the scheduling. I got to the point where I was scheduling until like 10 p.m. So I probably could have invested a little bit earlier in hiring someone to do that, because if I would have done that, we would have been able to grow quicker, because I would have had time to work on some of the other things like marketing that would help us grow.
One of the things I had a real problem with at the beginning and in the middle and and the growing phase was access to capital. It is always a prevalent thing. The more that you grow, the more you need. And even today, bankers are very hesitant for whatever reason. They'll pick a reason. There's an economy, there's a problem with that particular industry, there's a problem with real estate, they don't like this particular asset or whatever. And so bankers that's their job to say no. But what you can do is find people around you that say yes to whatever it is that you need to do. And there are people out there that will say yes, and they'll give you the chance, and they'll give you the capital. And now I'm one of those that give other people capital in order to grow, in order to do what they're doing. If you have a good idea and a good product, it's a no-brainer for someone that's not a bank that will invest in you.
So I think one place that Plumprint has continued to struggle with as we grow, it really keeps coming back to marketing. And I think that marketing really is a tough nut to crack, and it's always evolving, right? There's always just new ways to be promoting your company. So I think as an entrepreneur, you can't think that you always are going to have the answers. So to be talking and reading and looking at what else is out there, to be on top of that, it's a challenge, but it's also exciting that to always have to be on the cutting edge of what's next.
Thinking that we can achieve this next level of growth with the same number of people that we currently have. If we can only get over this stair step, then we'll be able to ride it for a little while. And that just has never been the case. The next stair step is always way higher than you think it is. And as we found out, well, it never ended. I mean, that's a great story, and thank the Lord for that. But if you're doing something well, that's probably going to happen. So just being ahead of the hiring game, not stressing your people, having enough folks to get to the next level and the next level beyond that, I think is the best focus to have.